What was that? What was what? What was that? What was that? Where? What was that? Shh. Quick before the hyena comes.
I know that some of you were hoping that I would do a full review for The Lion King 1.5 the way I did the first two movies, but that would be impossible for me to do for two reasons. First off, this is a children's movie in the strictest sense. Most movies targeted at kids these days are actually for the entire family, and most of them are worth being watched by adults alone. There hasn't really been a movie that was made strictly for kids in a long time, but The Lion King 1.5 is certainly one of them. I can't review it in full because it wasn't really made for me. Most of the problems I have with this movie is due to the age group in which it was intended, so I don't really feel right in criticizing it in that way. The second reason I can't review this movie in full is because there really isn't much of a movie here to review. The opening of the film was nice, and it gives Timon a good motivation for wanting to strike out on his own, and it brings a few of people's favorite characters back in a nice way, but the majority of the film is really just poking fun at all the stuff they could do in the background of the first movie. The entire middle of the film is kind of like the entire end of Back to the Future Part 2. It's just the same movie again from a different angle. Oh look, Timon and Pumbaa were there when Simba was born and we never knew. Cute. Oh look, they were there when Scar rallied the hyenas. Funny. But really, who could possibly care that much? If you're not a kid or a hardcore fan of The Lion King, there is no reason to watch this movie, and I can't say that about the first two, even as much as I didn't like the first one. But this isn't really what people seem to want to know. From what I gather by all the requests, people really only want to know one thing. As I may have mentioned a few times in the past, I did not care for Timon and Pumbaa as characters. I've softened up a little bit with regard to Pumbaa, but Timon especially simply didn't have any redeeming qualities in either of the films. Frankly, he came off as a selfish, usurping asshole. So the thing that people really seem to want to know is if I felt that there were any character improvements this time around.
Timon! Timon! Timon!
Oh. Oh.
Gotta go.
Go? Go where?
You know, go. Bad.
Oh, go? Why didn't you say so? Come on, let's go. Come on, you gotta go, you gotta go. Hang on, Simba! I'll save you!
I had a bad dream.
Oh, well,
Was it me?
Junior had a bad dream.
Oh. Why don't you sleep over here with
E Pumbaa, Sue Pumbaa.
All right. Good night.
Sleep tight.
dream of bedbugs tonight?
My friends are gone. And my Hakuna Matata went with them. Friends stick together to the end.
The short answer is yes. I mean, Simba is still acting like an asshole and making Timon's life miserable, but this movie did a good job of giving Timon both a good foundation and explanation for being the way he is. And it gave him that moment where he actually learns he was being an asshole and tries to make it right. On numerous occasions, he even goes out of his way to try and save Simba for no other reason but that he actually seems to care about him. Now, the movie didn't fix everything. We still have a moment in the film where Timon and Pumbaa actively try and sabotage Simba and Nala's relationship. Not sure why the writers thought that that was going to flatter their characters, but for the most part, things do improve. If they had included even just the one montage scene into the original movie, I honestly wouldn't have had much to complain about. The whole scene was just really good. It went from being touching to funny just when it should, and the finale was very well done. When Simba told Timon that he had had a bad dream, the thing that kept on rattling around in my subconscious was the notion that his bad dream may just have had something to do with his father's death. And if that's the case, then Timon and Pumbaa are really helping him out through something here. This part of the film was nice. Very, very nice. And it's chock full of the kind of thing that I felt was missing in the first one and that the first movie needed more of. The rest of the film is pretty much just one big joke at the expense of the first movie. So this is just one of those films where if you really love the first film, you might like some of the stuff in here, but if you don't care, it's not really going to mean much to you. I don't really feel right calling this good or bad, but there were definitely things in this movie that could have made the first one a lot better. So all I can really say is kudos to them for that.